Here we are at hour 35, and I must tell you that in this group of patterns that we study, and let me bring it up here, if I find a student using this pattern, I literally stand up and applaud them. This to me is the landmark when you have found that your student has arrived. You know, I was told, it was chosen. It was put in. This pattern, what happens is that the object of the sentence becomes the subject of the sentence. I'm not very good at grammatical terms, so I don't know what it's called, but he was reached at his home. I was called by my friends. My friends called me. I was called by my friends. It sort of juxtaposes the object, and it comes back and hits it as the subject. It's really a sophisticated pattern, which is sort of hidden by its simplicity. It's just beautiful. And if I have a student that begins to use this, I'm honestly floored. I get very, very impressed. And if you go, this actually introduces you to part of that. If you go to here to part 1, it only deals with these patterns. But if we look at the PDF here, you will see how subtly it's used and how often you'll find it in conversation. Was it all eaten by the time you got there? Wasn't it built before you were born? Is it sung by that kid that all of the young girls like listening to? So it's a pattern I find sort of difficult to teach because it's sort of hard to get a handle on it. But it's just one of those patterns that just bowls you over when a student begins to use it. So I have here a lot of practice in trying to help them get used to it. It's not easy to make it part of your repertoire of how you speak. So these patterns are used a great deal. Once again, kudos to any student who is able to master it. Its simplicity belies its complicated use. So it's so simple that I find it hard to teach, if you can believe that. You have to think of examples, although they're used all the time. You have to think of a lot of good examples to help your students realize how they can use it effectively. And I even don't have a PDF on this that you can use or refer to. All I know is that when you have a subject, verb, object in a sentence, when the object becomes the subject, this is used. This is used. They use this. That's a perfect example of the pattern. So there's examples here. The most examples of it are found right in this video here. This PDF, obviously this PDF is verbatim of this video. This PDF is verbatim of this video. This particular PDF here deals with the second part of what I deal with in this hour and combine it with. And I combine these together mostly because in Korean, when I was learning Korean and when I hear Korean, this is oftentimes misused. You will see in the PDF next to this on hour 35 the Korean equivalents of it. But I get students used to the subtle similarities between it doesn't make any difference if he goes, I don't care if you go, this is much harsher. What does that have to do with you? It's none of your business, this is very harsh. But I find these studied together are helpful, mostly because I'm influenced by when I was learning Korean and when I sometimes hear Koreans talk, they sometimes mean to say it doesn't make any difference if you do this, and sometimes they combine them with one of these three, and it tends to get very confusing. So it's good to review this with the students, I find, and it's the printout that I give students to help them distinguish between the patterns and how they're used. I hope that's helpful. Once again, the patterns 35, when you get people using this, when this is used, your students have arrived. Thank you.